I'm back. So, I had quite an interesting trip to Australia, right? For the most part, I enjoyed my time out there with my friends, right? That have now become my family, right? So, towards the end of my vacation, right? I decided to see this Jehovah's Witness family, right? That I've known for over a decade now. In fact, they are the very reason that I went to Australia the very first time, which was, I think it was about 12 years ago, right? 11, 12 years ago. The very first time I went to Australia, it was because of this family. So the day before I left, right? I was in Australia for 2 weeks, and the day before I left, I said, you know what? I have to see them. I know I'm an apostate. I know they are still witnesses, but it did not feel right me leaving Australia and not saying goodbye to the family. Even if this was for the very last time, I feel like I had to say goodbye to them in person, right? I feel like I had to. Excuse me. So, and by the way, before I knocked on their door, they knew that I was an apostate, right? Because let me just back up for a second. So this family, right? About 11, 12 years ago, I went to Australia for this sister, right? To see if me and her were gonna progress and be something serious. Ironically, I was an active. Yeah, you could say I was an active back then. When I first met the sister, I was an active, and I've been inactive twice, right? So when I met her, this was the first time I was inactive, but me and her were trying to see if we could, be something, be a couple, right? So I flew out there. I went out there to Australia. This is back in what was this? I think it was 2013, right? Yeah, it's 2013. I was out there for a whole year, right? Things didn't work out between me and her, obviously, right? So I had the option to either go back home, and things didn't work out in the first, I think, 2 months when I was out there, the first 2 months. So I had the option to go back home or to travel around Australia. And thank God I choose the option to travel around Australia because my visa was good for a whole year. So I was able to work and live out there for a whole year, right? And thank God I was able to network. I met, with my non-JW friends, my former coworkers, right? I met friends through them, and I kept with my coworkers. I kept in touch with my coworkers, of course, right? But I also met friends through them as well, right? So now I have a whole shitload of friends out in Australia in different cities, right? Different states and different cities. But anywho, it was because of this sister and her parents, right? They were the initial reason why I went to Australia in the first place, which was, like I said, about 11, 12 years ago, right? Things didn't work out with the sister, and I ventured and traveled around the whole country of Australia. So, going back to this happened not even a week ago. This happened, right? I was just about to leave Australia, and like I said, it didn't feel right leaving and not speaking to these people, these witnesses, for the last time. And they knew that I was an apostate because I had a relationship with the mother, right? Sorry, that came out wrong. I had a motherly, I guess you could say, a mother to son relationship with the mother, right? And when I got reinstated about 8 months ago, right? When I got reinstated about 8, 9 months ago, I was speaking to the mother. I was asking her questions. Hey, what do you think about this and this? Well, I was just asking her questions to make her think for once in her life, right? Because witnesses, as we know, they are not used to thinking critically. They are just used to obeying whatever the governing body is and whatever the elders have to say. But they are not used to thinking critically on their own, right? So I was asking her too many questions, and I realized that it was too much for her to handle. So she just blocked me, right? She blocked me. So when I went to their house, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought that there was a possibility that they would open the door and see me. Oh shit, Jerron, he's an apostate. They could have slammed the door in my face, right? But instead, they all engaged. They all came to the door and spoke to me, and we was at the door talking for a good 45 minutes, almost an hour. We was talking for a good 45 minutes. I was surprised, right? So we have the sister that I was once interested in, or I guess you could say dating, right? And in the Jehovah's Witness world, me and her were dating, right? But in reality, we wasn't, right? Anywho, so it's the sister at the door. It was the mother and the father. Oh, I had three people, three adults right in front of me, right? And they're like, hey, what are you doing here? What's going on, right? They asked me all these questions. Are you an apostate? Did you officially disassociate? What's going on? What's your status? So I told them straight ahead. I told them straight up. I said, yes, guys, I have disassociated, right? I don't want to say, yes, I'm an apostate, because they probably would have slammed the door in my face. Who knows? I don't know, right? I don't want to push them away. And before I left them, I wanted them to know that, yeah, listen, I left the organization, but I still love you guys. I'm still here for you guys. You guys are the ones shunning me. You guys are the ones that should be asking questions about the religion, right? But I told them, yeah, straight up, I disassociated from the religion, and I told them why, right? I told them, I asked them, what do you guys think about this new light? And I specifically asked the father, right? I said, what do you think about the new light with the whole beard situation? Wasn't that frowned upon? Witnesses couldn't have beards 5 months ago, 5 years ago, 50 years ago. They couldn't have beards. Now all of a sudden, it's okay. What do you think about that, right? And of course, as a brainwashed, indoctrinated witness, he goes, oh, I think it's a good idea. You know, it's a good idea that the governing body leaders are keeping up with the times. It's a good idea that men can now have beards. I said, oh, but what about witnesses are not supposed to be a part of the world. You're saying that they're keeping up with the times, but what about Jehovah's Witnesses are supposed to be they're not supposed to be a part of the world at all. Isn't it Satan's system? So if they're keeping up with the times, aren't they keeping up with Satan's system of things? Why is it that it's now allowed? I asked them, I said this to them, to the father specifically. I said, why is it now okay after 100 years? Why is it now allowed? And then I said to them, and I was trying to just like, this was completely spontaneous, because when I knocked on their door, right, I honestly didn't think that they would either one answer, or I didn't think that they would be receptive. I didn't think that they was gonna like talk to me, engage with me, right? Because they know I'm an apostate. They know right by now. They already know I'm an apostate. So for them to speak to me for 45 minutes at the door, we're going back and forth. They're telling me, what they believe in, and I'm telling them why I don't believe in what they believe in. I'm telling them why I'm an apostate, right? And it is extremely rare for a witness to engage. It's extremely rare for a witness to engage with an apostate for 45 minutes. You never heard this before, right? But then again, this family, they know me, right? They know me when I was a witness, or maybe this was their, I don't know, the final goodbye, or them just trying to be peaceful, loving witnesses, and them having a soft spot for me in their heart, right? Maybe this could be part of that as well. But I was asking them all these questions. I was trying to help them to see that, listen, if this organization is run by Jehovah, right? Why are they constantly flip-flopping their doctrines? God doesn't change. Why? I said to them, why is it now that they have this new light? Why is it now that people can join the organization at the very end? People could literally see the Great Tribulation starting and say, hey, listen, I want to be a witness now. So the mother said to me, oh, is that what you plan on doing? You plan on living you plan on living a sexual, immoral life, and you want to come back at the very end? Is that what you want to do? I said, no, not at all. Not at all. I even told them, like, you can't even pay me to be a witness again. Even if I saw the signs of the ends, if the ship was sinking and I saw signs of the great tribulation approaching, I still wouldn't be a witness. I would go down with the ship. I would rather die forever than live in some fake-ass paradise earth where people have to pretend to love each other and put on a show. I would never do that. Kill me. I would rather die. I would rather die forever than live forever in a world that's surrounded by fake witnesses that pretend to love each other only because they know that if they don't show love, then guess what? They're gonna die. But it's not from the heart. It's from fear. It's from fear. People join the Jehovah's Witness cult because of fear, right? Because they know that if they don't show this fake love to everybody, that God is going to judge them and they're not gonna make it to paradise earth. But it's not real love. It's not what's that term? It's not agape love. It's not agape. It's from fear. People join the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses because they don't want to die, because they want to live forever. It's not because they have unconditional love for God, because they have unconditional love for their fellow men. No, that's not why. It's because they are scared that they're scared that they're gonna die. That's what it is, right? So when I was engaging with these, my former JW friends, right? The father said, oh, you don't believe in this organization, so what do you believe in, right? And that is the number one. When it comes to witnesses, it's like that's their question. Oh, where else are we gonna go to? What else is out here in this world? What else do we have to look forward to, right? They can't accept the fact that maybe we were born to just be here temporarily. And just enjoy the moment, enjoy life. Make the most out of this. Make the most out of this life. Meet as many people as you possibly can. Travel, enjoy life to the fullest, right? I'm not saying you have to do drugs, have sex with everybody you meet, live an immoral lifestyle. I'm not saying you have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can still be a morally clean person, right? You can still enjoy life, be morally clean, but just not serve men. And I told him this. I said, why? I told him, I still believe in God. I still believe in Jesus, but I do not. I said the difference between me and you guys, I do not believe in this organization. I don't believe in answering to men. I don't believe in answering to elders. I don't believe in answering to imperfect men that claim that they are God's spokesmen, which is the governing body leaders. I don't believe in that. I said, you guys believe in that. You guys have to answer to elders. You guys have to answer to the governing body leaders. I don't have to do that anymore. But guess what? I still believe in God. I just cut the middleman out. That's the only difference between me and them. I said, you guys have to answer to men. I answer to nobody but God, right? My favorite rapper of all times, Tupac Shakur, said, only God could judge me. Only God, nobody else, right? Well, I didn't say that to them. But Tupac Shakur once said that. Only God can judge me. Nobody else. Nobody. So what I personally did, I cut the middleman out. The elders, the governing body leaders, they're all done. I have a personal relationship with God. Now, me personally, I don't believe in paradise earth. I don't think it's going to happen. That's just a sales pitch to draw people in this cult, right? To have people join the cult, pay them, so these people in this cult could pay the higher up, the men in the higher ups, right? The governing body leaders, the society, so that they can gain financially. But the rank and file Jehovah's Witnesses, they're gonna just keep waiting for this so-called paradise earth that's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But me personally, I don't believe in paradise earth, and I even told them that when we had this conversation. I told them, guys, I don't believe in paradise earth. And I didn't want to get too apostate on them. I don't want to give them too much, because if you go too hardcore on people, on witnesses, they can't comprehend it, and they might have slammed the door in my face, right? So I had to keep the conversation PG rated, for the sake of civilization, just for keeping the peace. Because this is the last time that me and that family were ever going to talk. So I don't want there to be any arguments, any animosity, right? I don't want there to be no door slammed in my face, nothing like that. So I said, if this is the last time we're ever going to speak, I want them to think about things after this conversation. I want to be able to plant some seeds, right? So I was speaking to them about this new light, right? I spoke to them about the beards. I spoke to them about how that these men are not inspired by God. I spoke to them about how people could join at the very last minute. And I said to them, guys, what is the point of going out in service? What's the point of going out in service and preaching to people if you could just wait till the very last minute to see the signs of the Great Tribulation? That defeats the entire purpose of going out in field service. If everyone on this planet could wait to the very last minute, if you could wait to the very last minute and see the signs of the Great Tribulation, then why go out in field service? Think about that. Why? I said this to them, right? And of course, they gave me the whole, brainwashed JW script. We are instructed according to the scriptures to go out in service. It is instructed from us, from God, right? And I said, okay, I get that. But if everyone on this planet can wait to the very last minute, then what you are doing right now out in service defeats the purpose. It means nothing. If people go wait till later on to see the signs that what you're saying is valid, that if there is a great tribulation coming, an Armageddon coming, if people could wait till then why are you wasting your precious time now out in service? That makes no sense. So everything that I said to them, of course, JWs, Jehovah's Witnesses, they have this script, right? And I also said to them, guys, witnesses don't love everybody. Witnesses only have love for their own selves, right? And they prove my point, right? But a little backstory. So when things didn't work out between me and this sister in Australia, right? And mind you, I'm standing in front of this sister that I used to see. I'm standing in front of her mother and her father, right? 3 people. So my brother, who is an elder in Florida, right? He's an elder. My younger brother, he's an elder now. Because things didn't work out between me and his sister. My brother doesn't even talk to this sister in Australia. And my younger brother and her younger sister are good friends, or they used to be good friends, right? They're both married to other partners, right? They're both married to people now. So of course their dynamic is different, right? But my younger brother and her younger sister used to be good friends. And when things didn't work out between me and this sister in Australia, the sister that I'm telling you guys about, my brother, who is now an elder, as an elder, right? So this sister, when I spoke to her just a few days ago in Australia, right? She tells me, I was just in the States. I was just in Florida. And your brother, he wants nothing to do with me because things didn't work out between me and you. She said this to me, right? I'm saying to myself, and I should have said this to her, but I'm saying to myself, my brother's an elder. He's supposed to show agape love, and he's not talking to you because things didn't work out between me and you. But he's an elder, and he's supposed to show love to everyone in the organization. And I said something similar to this to them, right? I said to them, Jehovah's Witnesses don't show love to everybody. They only show love to their own kind. But if you want to take it a step further, right? Even among Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't show love to everybody. They only show love to people who they like in a congregation, as we know. When you go to the congregation, right? When you go to the meetings, Jehovah's Witnesses don't associate with everyone inside of their congregation. They only associate with their cliques, their favorites. The pioneers with the pioneers, the elders' wives with the elders' wives, right? The minister servants with the minister servants, right? But you don't see everyone associating with everybody in the congregation. If there's a congregation of 100 people, you don't see all 100 people gather in rotation. No, it's the same 5 to 10 people, their own cliques, that associate with each other, right? And I said this to them. I said, guys, when you associate with people in your congregation, do you associate with everybody? Do you see the true agape love? That's not how it is in reality. They may give talks about, oh, we love everybody. This is a loving organization. No, it's not. Far from it. Far from it. It's an organization just like every organization / religion / cult on this planet. People only show love to their favorites. They have their own cliques within the religion. So don't give me that this is the whole agape love religion. It's not. It's not. So that was a productive 45-minute conversation with them because, I mean, at the end of the day, they've said, you know what? We respect what you believe. If you don't want to believe, if you don't want to be a part of this religion anymore, that's fine. You disassociated, that's fine, right? But they said, we're not going to change just because you're right here and you're trying to, talk to us. They made it clear they're not going to change, and that's fine. They're not going to change. I'm not going to change. But it was sad talking to them. It was sad talking to them because I realized how brainwashed and how indoctrinated these witnesses are. They have all this new light. They have all this new information. They saw the broadcast when the governing body leader said, "Oh, we are not sorry. We don't owe you guys an apology. We have new rules, new policies, and we don't owe you guys an apology." They saw all this stuff, which should have sparked something up here. It should have sparked something, right? But instead, when I was talking to them, they were just going along with the governing body leaders. Just going along with it. And I said to them, it's sad that the governing body leaders can say anything and you guys will continue to drink the Kool-Aid. I said that to them and they started laughing, right? Like I feel like deep down inside they knew I was right, but they can never own up to it, right? They was like laughing out of embarrassment. I said to them, you guys will continue to drink the Kool-Aid. The governing body leaders could say anything and you will believe them. And all they could do is laugh, right? I like, ooh, he's right, but So I pray to God that I planted some seeds. And there are plenty of things I wish I was able to say to them, but like I said, I don't want to say too much. I was thankful that they opened a door for me and that they allowed me to speak to them for 45 minutes. I was thankful for that because they knew I was an apostate, right? They were telling me why they want to continue to be witnesses. I told them why I would never be a witness ever again. I told them why. I told them since I left the cult, since I left the religion, I now love everybody on this planet. And I told them, you guys, Jehovah's Witnesses, you don't love everybody. You only love your own kind. You only care about your own kind. But I love everybody. I don't answer to no men, no elder, no governing body leader, nothing, nobody. The only person I answer to is God. Once, like I said before, Tupac said, only God can judge me. Nobody else. Only God can judge me. Nobody else. Nobody else. So that was my encounter. That was my second last day in Australia. I hope I planted some seeds. I hope I allowed these people to think. But you know what? Like I always say, you cannot make people wake up. People have to wake up on their own initiative. They have to wake up on their own, right? But I stand there faithfully for 45 minutes defending my truth, right? They gave me their truth, right? But what they failed to realize is that their truth is not the truth. Their truth is not the truth, right? Just because you have faith doesn't mean that you're right. I have facts. That is the number one difference between apostates and Jehovah's Witnesses. Apostates have facts that it's not the truth. Jehovah's Witnesses have faith. They believe that it's the truth, but they don't have facts. They can't prove. They can't back up what they believe in. All they have is this faith, right? This fake ass sales pitch of a paradise earth. That's all they have. But anywho, that was my encounter with former Jehovah's Witnesses in Australia. And like I said, I hope that I planted some seeds. I hope that they wake up one day, and I hope that every Jehovah's Witness on this planet just do their research, because that's what it comes down to. Once you do your research, you wake up and you realize you was lied to. But these people, they fail to do their research. All they want to do is believe in the governing body leaders. But we will see what happens in the next few years. You know, all these new rules, all these new lights, we will see what happens, you know. But anywho, guys, I love you guys. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Take care.